I hate to sound like that guy with the knives and say, but wait, there's more, but I'm going to say this because it is a truth bomb. You know, not only are you going to get your messaging and your conviction and your life purpose on point, you are going to go ahead and completely dissolve, clear, and release the stories that have been holding you stuck, that have been holding you captive. We're going to immerse you into this quantum zone of spiritual prosperity. And then here comes the last piece, and then we are going to complete this specific video. The last part is we're going to rewire you. That's right. Like Joe Dispenza says, that neurons that wire and fire together are what hardwires you for your next level. So we are going to do a recoding and a rewiring. Hey, it's Terri Messenger, and I just wanted to come on in and talk about spiritual prosperity codes. But what is the true coding behind spiritual prosperity, right? Is it about having this incredible genius zone that the world wants and is chasing after? Is it about having the health and the vitality and the vibrance that, is just going to give you billion-dollar energy? Is it about having a bulletproof mindset? Well, guess what, guys? It is about every single one of those elements, because really every single self-made multimillionaire does have a zone of genius and knows their zone of genius and really invests to make that happen and to put it out into the world. So that's number one. And, number two, look, I do understand that there are people that haven't had the greatest health, that have had their genius zone and much prosperity. But let me tell you that spiritual prosperity, I believe, and in what I'm teaching, is about you having, the greatest of health as well. And what about that bulletproof mindset? Well, guys, you're going to need a bulletproof mindset if you are going to be working with wealth, if you are going to be doing this collaboration with this flow of money. But the very first thing that I want to teach you is the world is your mirror. Okay, so whatever you are saying to money, money is actually giving back to you. So are you generous with your money? Are you wise with your money? Do you care about your money, and do you have a relationship with it that you know that you are ready to really expound on it and generate it so that it can multiply? These are some of the questions that I have, and these are backed up by science and also biblical principles. In the Bible, Jesus tells a parable about a man who gives coins and money away to 3 men. Now, 2 of the men go out and they invested this money. They create a situation where they're working to make that money actually bring back more money. But then one of the men actually put the money away. In fact, he didn't just put it away, he hid it. Which man do you think that was awarded in this story the most money? Was it the man that actually put it away and hid it? or was it one of the two men that actually reinvested it and made that money work? Well, in case you didn't know, the man that hid it and put it away was totally written off in this story. He wasn't able to be entrusted with it because he didn't know how to utilize the money. So this is just one really good example of how we deal with money, what we are doing with our money, and what we are saying to ourselves about it. So, there are a lot of people in the online coach wondering why they're so broke. They feel like they can't get any traction in their business. But when you look at them, are they investing in their business? Absolutely not. A lot of them are not investing in their business. Now, tell me, when have you ever heard of a business that has made millions of dollars on absolutely zero investment? So first of all, if we are in the online space, and this is why so many people in the online space complain, because I don't seem to be getting the traction. How much money are you investing to get the traction? What are you doing towards your acquisition to create a strategy where you are actually doing you are doing certain things. Let's get this right. This is a quote from The Science of Getting Rich. When you are doing certain things in a specific way, that is when it's just going to be a matter of time before you really hit the big time. But you know what? I do understand that there are many stories within all of us. I have stories within me. You have stories within you. And whatever story we are truly telling ourselves, that is what is keeping us stuck. Now, this Friday, we are going to do a mastermind class, and I want to go through and tell you the strategy that we are going to be using so that this is going to be a very, very beneficial, very powerful and potent mastermind class. Firstly, I want to say to you that if you've never done spiritual prosperity codes with me before, you can jump on board anytime and you will get, guaranteed, you will get an absolute return on your investment. Now, when I say you're going to get guaranteed a return on your investment, what I mean is this. I create the most incredible and powerful mastermind classes that make change at such a deep cellular level that you are going to shift. So that shift that I am guaranteeing you is what is going to make the difference to actually help you on your path of prosperity. So number one, we have to really look at what is it that you truly desire? What is it that you want? Like, are you wanting to become a renowned, successful person that is going to impact the world? Well, you know something? I said that because that is actually something that I want. Apart from the fact that my greatest blessing is in the health of my family, my loved ones, and my own body, I can honestly say, hand on heart, that I want to create the most transformative program that is going to change millions of people's lives. And I'm going to do this through giving and imparting to other people who have got that same similar vision to have the right acquisition, the right mindset, and, doing the right things in the right order so that you can help me to achieve my mission. But here is the big $64 million question. where did that desire come from? It didn't come from nowhere, right? It came from somewhere that in my deepest and most really serious recess of my cells and my whole muscular nervous system, that there was a deep, very deep need and desire where I felt that there was a value missing from my life. And this is what happens when you look at the richest people who were self-made multimillionaires. They had a really specific mission, vision, and purpose. You will come to know this. If it happens to be that someone wants to be a multimillionaire, that's not really what my vision is, right? My vision is about having the blessing of riches so that I can impact the world, so I can be renowned in what I do, and so I can really impact, people's lives and just put myself on the map. But when I go deep into this, I have already discovered where this comes from. It comes from a lack in me that happened when I was a young girl. Because you see, when I was a teenager, I was not expelled from school, but I was given a goodbye letter when I was just 15 years old. So that was after I did year 10. I was not ready to leave school. I had no idea. I was still a young girl. So the year that I turned 16, way back when in the 80s, was the worst year of my life. My father used to make a joke and say that I'm actually working for walkers and turners. And what he meant by that is I was walking the streets and turning the corners with all my motley mates, because what else was a teenager to do except just get around outdoors? And, you didn't want to, in them days, we didn't have, the Xboxes and all the gaming and everything that goes down these days. So I was literally just aimlessly walking around every day with the motley crowd, making the worst decisions. Probably the only thing I really didn't do is I didn't steal, or I didn't do anything like that. But apart from that, I made some pretty bad choices. By the time I got to 17, 18, I was sacked from 8 jobs in a row. Now, what do you think that did for my nervous system? It really put a recording in me that really kind of permeated, and I didn't realize that it was going to hardwire me for the way things would be for the rest of my life, until I made a change. And that change came when I discovered that after a deep depression that I sunk into in my 30s, where I was so helpless, I didn't even want to live anymore. I had nothing to live for. I truly felt so helpless. And, when I made a huge change in my life, my marriage broke down. I lost so much, and really I was aimlessly getting around. And that's when Dr. Ian Messenger pointed me into the direction of neuro-linguistic programming, where I became renowned in the NLP world. I went to teaching and preaching and certifying psychologists and counselors and healers, and all of these incredible people and leaders, and turning men into millionaires and helping women to find their voice. And I found my purpose. I found my freaking purpose. And that is my big why. And, as we explore, we are going to, in my mastermind class, we are going to help you to navigate your why. My why is that when I help you to go very deep, and I know that you're already very well personally developed, I already understand that most of you even understand a lot of the work that I do. But what I'm talking about here is my zone of genius, and that is really being able to go deep into that recess of your soul that can then extrapolate your zone of genius that comes from a karmic wound of your past. And then guess what? We're going to alchemize it. We are not only going to alchemize it, but we're going to turn it into your world-class message. You're not just going to be out there trying to sell something or trying to, be an influencer or trying this or trying that. You are going to have a stellar message. You are going to know as a thought leader. You're going to become a thought leader. You already are a thought leader, but you know what? You're going to activate your voice. You're going to activate your message. You are going to have a whole different stance on how you articulate yourself to the world. And that, even before you invest in yourself, is going to make a massive difference in attracting what you desire and what you deserve. So, what next? So, when you come to this class, not only are you going to find your magnetic message, your life, soul, purpose, what you stand for, not only is this going to turn you into a thought leader, but wait for it, guys. Here comes the big cracker. The big cracker is that we have to go back and we have to bust open that whole story and that whole experience of where you actually learnt to do what you do. Because you see, your brain is wired for the past. It's not wired for the future. And this is not a bad thing all round, because let's face it, you've learned how to walk, you've learned how to talk, you've learned how to drive a car, you've learned how to do so many things, and that's good. You don't want to have to get up and learn how to do it all every single day. You wouldn't have time to be concerned about money or anything else, right? You'd be too busy learning how to walk and talk and read and write. So here's the thing. We want to take the things that have been automated in your coding system around your belief on yourself, your prosperity, your success, your self-worth, and we want to totally crack that wide open. We want to expand your heart. We want to let that golden light come from above. We want to call in your guides, your angels, God, the people up there that are going to support you. And we want to fill you in and fill you up with so much golden light that it's going to overflow from you. But you know what? Not only are we going to do a complete dissolving, clearing, and releasing frenzy, but here's the even bigger thing. I hate to sound like that guy with the knives and say, but wait, there's more. But I'm going to say this because it is a truth bomb. You know, not only are you going to get your messaging and your conviction and your life purpose on point, you are going to go ahead and completely dissolve, clear, and release the stories that have been holding you stuck, that have been holding you captive. We're going to immerse you into this quantum zone of spiritual prosperity. And then here comes the last piece, and then we are going to complete this specific video. The last part is we're going to rewire you. That's right. Like Joe Dispenza says, that neurons that wire and fire together are what hardwires you for your next level. So we are going to do a recoding and a rewiring. So this is a mastermind on steroids. And absolutely no, it is not free. That would be a sin to all the people that are really in there doing the work, investing the money. It would be against the Bible verse that I even spoke about, because, this is something that we're asking you to invest just a small amount in, that I am going to guarantee. Now, this is a big claim to fame. I guarantee that if you do not feel at the end of this mastermind that you have received what you truly, truly, truly expected, or what your heart's desire is for moving upwards and going to the next level, I will give you your money back. But all you have to do is say in the comments, yes, and I will let you know the small investment, what it's going to cost for you to join this mastermind. And let me promise you one thing, it's going to totally multiply your energy. And I stand by it. It's going to be this week. It's going to be held on Friday. You also have the opportunity to keep it for life and have the script. Oh my gosh, did I just say that? Yes, you do. So if you're keen, let me know. Either DM me, put yes in the comments. We'll get back to you. Let's get this show on the road. Come prepared, come expected. As soon as you say yes, I will give you the inroad to your pathway to the first level of spiritual prosperity, and I will walk you through it, and we're going to make huge change together. See you soon, guys. A show where we have explored through this various topic, along with all the exciting new topics that we bring every week to enhance your personal mastery of excellence. Now, I'd love you to do me a favor. In fact, be part of the legacy 1 million that I have in the vision for 2028. If you know someone who really would benefit from this recording, from this episode, please share it with them. And when you subscribe, you get notified every week of our episode as soon as it drops. So let's do that legacy thing. Let's share, let's care, let's enrich. And I look forward to bringing you another week of the most enriching content. So until next time, stay inspired, stay awesome, and keep on mastering your excellence.